And out my window, I had an ET looking in my window. At the bottom of my bed, I had 3 of them at the bottom of my bed, 1 on the side of my bed, and 1 in my closet. And I'm like, oh crap, you know, being by myself and a female, I had a phone next to my head, so in case I needed to call for whatever. So I'm laying there in my bed, I'm looking at these ETs, and I'm thinking to myself, call mom. Like my mom would be able to do anything about it. But that's what I did, is I just kept repeating, call mom, call mom.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Paranormal Among Us. Thanks for tuning in. I have a great show lined up for you today. I'm going to introduce you to a new paranormal podcaster, Dana Nojen. She hosts a podcast called Light Talk with Dana, and here's a link on the bottom of the screen here for her YouTube channel. Make sure you head on over there and subscribe to her show. Today, she's going to come on here and talk about some of her experiences. Looking forward to you meeting her, so stay tuned for that in just a few seconds. But first, I want to remind you that I will be doing a lot more live shows this season, and I have some great guests lined up, so make sure that you like and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss anything that is coming up. Also, if you have any stories that you would like to share, or if you would like to be a guest on the show, or have a suggestion for a topic, please email me at paranormalamongus72@gmail.com, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. All right, let's head out to Colorado and meet Dana Nojen. Dana, thank you for taking the time to meet with us today.
Oh, I appreciate it. I'm excited about it. I'm excited. Thanks for inviting me.
And you have a podcast that you just started. It's called Light Talk with Dana.
Yes.
Where can people find it, and kind of explain that a little bit?
Well, it's let's go through my little spill. It's a light talk with me, with Dana. And what I do is I get stories from different people and their experiences, just trying to get the knowledge out there and open up the psychic world and let everyday people share their stories so that
Awesome.
they can just share it. Because I want to share my stories. I'm so excited to share my stories. I want other people to be able to share theirs too and not feel like they're being downed or anything.
Yeah, awesome. So it's a safe place, and you know,
Yes.
I found that on this show and many other shows that I've seen and other people that I've interviewed. You know, it's a safe place. You know, no one here makes fun of anybody, and you know, that's just, I guess it's just a rule for paranormal podcasters. So I mean,
Yeah.
So there you go. Welcome to the podcasting world.
Oh, thanks. Oh, and by the way, I'm on YouTube.
And I'll have your link. I'll have your link throughout the show, and in the show notes, so everybody will be able to go over there and see it and like it and subscribe it for you. So
awesome! Thank you very much.
Sure, no problem. So you know, we kind of talked last week or a couple days ago. I can't remember. Everything kind of blends in together here. You have a bunch of stories, paranormal stories.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
You're getting there. I have none. Well, one maybe. So, and I didn't even happen to me. It happened to somebody else. So, how long have you had these occurrences?
Actually, I really can't tell you that. I started having some around 1990, and I had no idea what was going on. Again, I thought I was going crazy, and I met this friend. I'll pop you out there, Shane. he's a psychic also, and I met him at one of my jobs, and he has gotten me started on it, and now I'm noticing more and realize I've had experiences back since about 1990, and one I remember as being around 5, 6 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, please explain.
Okay. All right. I was out at my grandma's house, and she lived on 10 acres of land, and she had this barn that was quite a ways away from our house. So, you know, you have her house, and then we had to walk going across and get to the barn. And she also had a road that went around so you could drive over to the barn. And all of us kids were going out to the barn. There's what, 6 of us, 4 of us. And depending on my cousins were there. But we were going out, and she had 3 55-gallon barrels that she would burn her trash in. And they were in the shape of a triangle. And as I walked by, I saw 3 heads popping up, a head out of each one. It was like just like this much. But ever since then, I never, to the day she passed, I never walked by those trash cans by myself again.
Well, no, I wouldn't either.
And I would walk on the street, on the road going out. I wouldn't go by those trash cans.
So was there any significance to the shape of the triangle that they were all in, or?
No, it's just how my grandma had it. So I don't know if there was anything with it, but I don't know. I don't know. It was kind of weird.
Yeah, because when you mentioned the shape of a triangle and the trash cans the shape of a triangle, I almost was thinking, okay, then a spacecraft appeared in the shape of a triangle that kind of mirrored the trash can shape. But you know,
I don't know. There seems to be something with it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, did you ask your grandmother if she'd ever noticed anything popping out of the trash cans before?
No, because I thought I was crazy, and I never told anybody about it until just a couple of years ago.
Really?
Yeah, it's just kind of like left my mind after all those years, and now it's just now there's something to it, I think.
Yeah, I think so. It probably is. Yeah. You mentioned, do you have like a psychic medium?
I am working towards that. I would like to be a medium. I'm kind of looking at being a channeler too. So I don't know if that's my goal, if that's my contract or what. But I'm just kind of playing by ear right now and going wherever it takes me.
Well, that's pretty interesting, and you know, there are a lot of mediums out there, and I've talked to several, and they're very, very interesting, to say the least. I think I would be freaked out seeing what they see or experiencing what they experience.
I've seen apparitions at my work, where I work right now.
Okay, so right before we started recording, you said that you had something today. And I didn't want to hear it, but now I want to hear it. Now I want to hear it.
Okay, so this morning, a couple of weeks ago, or maybe more like a week ago, we had a person that passed away in the building. And so...
They died actually in the building?
Yes, they died in one of the restrooms in our building, in the same building I work in. So I've been kind of thinking, okay, well, maybe he'll come back and he'll, you know, give me a sign or, you know, something like that. And this morning I got into work, and before I turned anything on, and I have a fan, so no fan was turned on or anything, but I felt this cool breeze come across my forehead.
Yep.
So I was like, that was somebody. And I've been told that the owner of this company, when they first started, he passed away in this building too. Wow. So I don't know who it was, but somebody passed through me this morning.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was like, that's cool. So cool. I get all excited with my coworkers. I got it.
That's pretty cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
So, you know, one thing that I've learned I more people should know this, but on your phone you have a voice recorder. So it's a voice memo thing, whatever. Next time that happens, next time you feel the cool breeze, and get that out and start recording something and start asking questions and see if that person comes through.
Oh, I'll have to check on that.
Yeah.
I'll have to check.
Do you have an iPhone or do you have an Android?
Android.
Okay. They should all have that feature.
Okay.
Is voice memo. So I did a podcast and somebody mentioned that to me, and I started doing it around the house, and I don't get anything yet. So I mean, and I've had chills like that and smelled my dad's cologne go by. And if I was thinking clearly, I would have done that. So next time, maybe tomorrow morning at work, if you feel the cool breeze, get your phone out and start asking questions.
That or I tried getting pictures, but I'm not allowed to take pictures in my building. So, but I've been taking pictures. I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah.
Can I get something with that?
Yeah. No kidding. Yeah, you also said you had some stories of UFOs.
Yes. Well, I believe I've seen a UFO on my way to work. It was at night, and it was probably about 10 miles away from where I was at. And above the skyline, I saw flashes of lights. 5 flashes is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Now, let's set the tone real quick. You live just north of Denver, correct? Denver, Colorado.
Yes, I'm in Loveland area.
Okay,
Loveland,
right.
Fort Collins area.
Okay, all right.
So I'm in Loveland, and the lights were in like Fort Collins area, kind of like the bordering kind of area. And it was just like a flash, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it was done. That's all I saw. And from that distance, the lights were about the size of a dime. So they were pretty big lights for having the distance and everything.
On the horizon or up higher?
It was higher than the horizon. It was probably about, looking at the distance and everything, is about an inch above the horizon.
What color were they, did you say?
White.
Because it wouldn't be an airplane, because those are red and green, or red and white and green.
They were, they would be flashing, but these were just like a flashlight was flashing. And then
wow.
Then done. And I thought it could have been the airport, because I lived near worked near the airport. So I thought it might be their little spotlight that was spinning and everything. So I looked at that, and that light goes from west to east. And these lights went from east to west. So it wasn't the airport lights.
And the spotlight, you would have seen the light going across the sky, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be flashing like that.
No. Very interesting.
So that was that side of it. If I could tell you my ET story.
Yes.
My ET story.
Whatever stories you have, let it out.
Okay, I got plenty of them.
There's that one story that you told me. I think you remember what it is. Save that one to the last.
With
remember
my bedroom?
No. That sign that you had that one time that about getting gas.
Yes.
Save that one for last. That's a good one. That's a really good one. Stay tuned to that. This is a really good one.
Okay, we'll do that one last.
Yes.
Okay, so the ET one, it was about 1992-ish, and I had just moved out on my own in my own apartment, and this one night, it was in the middle of the night, and I'm not quite sure what time it was. I never checked the time, but I heard like the Siamese cat outside my window. And to let you know, I'm on the 3rd floor, and the wall was brick. So there's nothing that anybody could climb up on, anything like that. So 3rd floor, I hear a Siamese cat out my window. I go, okay, it's a cat. But then I started hearing like what I thought was fireworks inside of a trash can. And I'm not sure if it was that or gunshots because it wasn't in the greatest of neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And the next thing I know, I had roused up, and out my window, I had an ET looking in my window. At the bottom of my bed, I had 3 of them at the bottom of my bed, 1 on the side of my bed, and 1 in my closet. And I'm like, oh crap, being by myself and a female, I had a phone next to my head, so in case I needed to call for whatever. So I'm laying there in my bed, I'm looking at these ETs, and thinking to myself, call mom. Like my mom would be able to do anything about it.
Right.
But that's what I did, is I just kept repeating, call mom, call mom. And I remember trying to move my arm to reach for the phone, and I could not move my arm.
Wow.
But I just kept there, call mom, call mom. The next thing I know, it was morning. And they were
you were in the same spot?
Same
spot. You
didn't
get moved?
Nope, not to my knowledge.
Right.
I mean, they didn't touch me to my knowledge. They were just looking at me, just watching me. I talked to my nephew just not too long ago, and he's like, well, maybe they were protecting you from the gunshots. I go, well, that could have been.
Maybe.
That could have been very possible. They were protecting me, and it kept me still, so I wouldn't move and try and get into the firing.
Get out? Yeah.
Yeah. And then I moved to this house. And when I got into this house, I started I felt one at the end of my bed. They were the same ones, but this time I didn't.
Were they grays, or what did they look like?
Before this is really getting all famous and everything, if you thought of an ET, that's what you would see. That's what I saw.
Like from the movie ET.
From like the movie, kind of like the movie. I am guessing they were the grays, but I don't know for sure who they were. Okay. But they were short. They were like the 3 foot tall. And my bed, it was tall, and you can just see the tips, you can see that they're just kind of poking over the bed, because I've always had tall beds. And so, yeah, I'm not quite sure. They were the skinny. The face kind of was more kind of like a triangular, and the eyes were big. So, yeah, I don't recall seeing ears or anything on them.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So then when I moved into this house, I felt one at the end of my bed. And that time they were just watching me. And it was gone. It was just pretty quick. Then another time I felt them at the end of my bed. But this time it was weird because they were watching my husband. So it was kind of weird because I'm used to them looking at me.
Yeah.
It was like, why are you watching my husband?
Come over here.
Yeah. Whoa, what's going on here? And then a little while later, I'm in the shower, and I felt something behind me. So I turned around, and instead of looking like my husband's height, I looked down, because my husband's a little taller than me. But I looked down to the size of the 3 foot, 4 foot height, which was weird. And then that feeling was gone. So it was really quick.
But it wasn't in there with you.
No, I didn't see it.
Okay.
I haven't seen it in this house, but I felt them. It was just a feeling.
You never touched them or anything, or just sensed them? Okay.
Just yeah.
So in your house, did you notice anything disturbed or messed up that they would have, looked through drawers or anything, or moved furniture or anything? Nothing moved? Okay.
No, nothing like that. Okay. No. Yeah. Yeah. And then later, I was in my bedroom and I'm facing the opposite wall, or I'm facing the south wall. And I get this feeling. I believe the light was off at the time because it was weird for me. But the light was off, and I like felt something or something made me turn around to the west wall, and there was this black figure about 8 feet tall, and he had like a cape on. And when I turned around, he moved, and when he moved, his cape kind of did a,
Right.
like it would, like he was running or something. And so I said, okay, that's it. I'm doing a smudging. So I smudged my house, and I haven't seen that shadow person again, and I haven't felt the ET again.
Wow.
So I don't know if the ETs were there protecting me from the shadow person.
Could have.
And now I don't have anything else in my house, so there's nothing for them to protect me from.
So what did the shadow person have, like a top hat on, and was it all black, or?
It was just all black, just a cape, like a vampire cape, kind of. It had capes up on the side and then came down. No hat on this guy.
And you couldn't see any features in its face or anything, just blank?
Just all black.
Blackness. Okay.
Just darkness. Yeah.
And this was all in Loveland, right?
Yes.
Okay.
In my current home, where I'm at right now.
Oh wow. Mm-hmm. And then after you did the cleansing and stuff, it didn't come back.
Nope, I haven't felt them. I haven't seen them. I haven't nothing yet. That's
good. I mean, as long as they didn't hurt you or scratch you or mark you or anything. I mean,
right.
Yeah, that's good. No kidding. No kidding.
Yeah. That would not have been good, but
No. But you did mention there was a story about aliens out your window or something like this.
Oh, in this house, yes.
Yeah.
Something happened. I started getting involved with just kind of looking at the wind out in the night sky, and this night I was like, well, something's telling me to go look outside. So I did. I was looking at the sky and watching for UFOs or whatever I can see. And I get my camera out. I go, oh, well, maybe I'll catch something. So I was scanning the skyline and everything. And then I thought, oh, I'll just scan my yard and see what happens. And when I scanned my yard, about 30 feet out from my bedroom window where I was at, in my camera, I was seeing this white figure. And it was the funniest thing because it had its back towards me. And it was like doing this boogie dance, going like this and going back and forth, It was like shaking its buns and everything else. And I just kind of started cracking up, and I thought, oh man, I need a witness for this. So I'm like, called my husband and says, you got to check this out because I need a witness.
Yeah.
So at that point, we're looking outside with a bare eye, seeing absolutely nothing. There was nothing out in our yard. But when you look on the screen as it was taping, you see this white figure, and you could kind of see like more dense bone around the eye or around the skull there, a little bit in the arm, and a little bit on the leg.
Oh.
A leg. It looked like it had one leg, but it was bouncing around like both legs were there. So I don't know if it was hidden or what. And then we're like checking it out. It's like, well, this is weird. This is really weird. And then later on, I rewatched it, and all you can see is like this little like red blob that's kind of like going across the screen like this.
Oh, wow.
So it's like completely different. So you can't explain to anybody what we actually saw when we were filming it because it doesn't show it.
Oh, it didn't show up on the video either?
No, it just shows up as like a red spot going back and forth. It
Oh, I mean,
doesn't show
yeah.
the white figure that we saw.
Wow.
It's weird.
Well, that is weird. That's pretty weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, and no car lights going by or no airplanes or anything, no nothing like that. Yeah.
Nope. No planes went by, and the planes are up higher, so they wouldn't even be down low enough to do that. The houses around me, so there wouldn't be any real car lights. No car or no streets come pointing towards our backyard.
Wow.
I think we had some neighbors' house lights on, with them being inside, but this was down.
Wouldn't have shown through. Yeah.
It wouldn't have shown through because it was down below my fence. It was shorter than the fence. It was looking in the screen. It took like about an inch in my screen. So it was a pretty good size entity, I'm guessing. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Now, before all this stuff happened to you, were you a skeptic, or did you believe in this stuff, or?
I'm really not quite sure. I mean, really, I've always been scared to death of this stuff. Scared. And for some wild reason, when I was in college, I had to do a report. I don't know why I would do something like this, but I did a report on poltergeist.
Uh-oh.
I have no idea why, because it took me a long time to write it because I kept scaring the crap out of myself. Why am I doing this? But I went forth and I did my report and I got a good grade on it. But ever since then, it was kind of like, okay, now I'm like kind of intrigued about it. And then I guess it just kind of grew from there.
Yeah.
But I don't know why, because I've never watched the Exorcist show. I started and I was like, nope, that's it. Never again. And I haven't. I've never watched scary movies. I just never liked them. Never liked them.
I'm the same way. I love this kind of stuff, but I just don't get into the scary movies or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't do that. It scares me.
Yeah.
That scares me, but this doesn't, right? Weird.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Well, you're in good company.
Okay, yay!
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, is your husband a skeptic too, or does he?
He's still a skeptic.
Yeah.
Yeah. He goes, yeah, whatever, Dana. Talk about it. But he tells me he's okay with it, but he just doesn't quite understand, because I think he has to know how it all works, and it's like, I can't explain that to you.
Yeah.
You just gotta experience it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you just can't explain it to where people can understand it.
Yeah, and really, you don't know why the spirits hang around. I mean, it could be unfinished business. It could be protecting you or whatever. But, until you communicate with them, you don't really know.
Right. Yeah. And when I started getting into all of this, I was going to get massages. And I was in the middle of it, and I was like, oh, well, what am I doing right now? I'm relaxed. I'm doing nothing. So I started just calling out, is there anybody in the room? If so, what's your name? And nothing. I just kept repeating. And I was on my back at that point, and I heard this Amy. Very clear, very, very cool, like very awesome.
Really?
Yeah. And she says, Amy, and I bounce up and I'm like, did you hear that? To my masseuse, did you hear that? She's like, no. I go, you didn't hear the name Amy? No.
Wow.
And I go, is there anybody here named Amy? No. You know, it's like nothing was with Amy. And I go, okay, here we go. And
I'm not crazy. I'll just lay back down.
yeah, I'll just go
yeah.
back down. Okay, continue. And I talked to my friend Shane the next day at work, and he started getting a connection with it. And he's like, Dana, I'm getting sister, sister, sister. I'm like, what does that mean? What does that mean? I don't have a sister named Amy. And he goes, I'm just hearing sisters. And then we came across, or it came up with that she is a sister of mine in a previous life.
In a previous life.
In a previous life. Yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah, it was pretty cool. And pretty
interesting.
Cool.
Yeah. I had talked to, I mean, well, never mind. I had talked to a medium a while back, and he said that I was on my 20th life or something, 20th, time on the earth. I don't feel that old, but I mean, but yeah, I mean, I had no idea. So
I don't know how many lives I've had.
Yeah.
But I know I've had a couple of them. He has, or 3 of them, counting that one, I would guess. I actually talked with this friend, and he put me into a past life regression.
Really?
And yeah. And I ended up seeing myself as a male walking down a street like in the 1800s, like where you have a couple stores on the side and the main road, and you have the general store where everything's in. And I saw myself walking into this town. Then I saw myself at the counter of the general store, and I was picking up a rifle. And then next thing I know, I was walking out of town, going, straight through. Mm-hmm. Then the next thing I saw was I was in a tree. I'm hearing a bunch of people behind me talking. And in front of me was just like an open plain, is like a scene like in Little House on the Prairie. Mm-hmm. Did you ever watch that? Yeah.
Long time. I never really got into that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I got into it because I think I lived in that era.
Yeah.
So I looked across, and it was almost like a scene in Little House where it's just all prairie, all open land. And I'm in this lone tree in the middle of nowhere. And they hung me. Oh. I was hung. So I felt my head kind of tilting as the weight fell. So my head fell to the side as I was being hung. That was one of my lives.
Did you feel anything, any emotions or anything besides your head going to the side or anything?
Not really.
Pain or?
No pain. I didn't feel any of the actual falling or whatever with the hanging. I just felt my head tilting and just knew I was hung.
Wow.
And I was hearing the men behind me. And I was a man.
Yeah.
By the way. So I don't know what happened. I don't know if I murdered somebody with that rifle that I bought, or what came about. Yeah.
Well, he would be an interesting guest to have on.
Shane?
He would be an interesting guy to have on. That would be cool.
Yeah. I can talk to him for you. I'll talk to him.
For you, for me, and then for you to have on. Yeah, that would be cool.
Actually, we're working on it now. He's going to interview me for one of his shows that he's doing.
Oh, cool.
And I'm going to have him on my show. So that'll be fun.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Sweet.
Yeah. Then we went a little further and found out I committed suicide as a pirate. I was a pirate. I was on the boat.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And I saw myself taking pills.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those
are the 2 lives I found. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's bizarre.
And this brings me into my E.T. family. I had one of those. So I got this vision of me being in front of this really tall lady. I knew she was a lady. I knew she was my mom. And I was male. And I was coming in from work. And she just stood there. Again, there's no talking or anything. She just stood there and she was just so loving. She was welcoming me home. It was like with open arms, but her arms didn't move. But they were open arms and just welcoming me home. Like, I'm so glad you're home. I missed you so much. So, yeah, I got that one. Yeah.
Whoa. That's cool.
Yeah. So that's been really cool. I'm trying to kind of figure that one out too.
Yeah. That's very interesting.
And she was very tall. They were very tall and very slender. I remember her arms being very long. And she was like sand color. My whole scene right there was sand color. So the background was in like a desert, all sand, and there was like hills in the back. Yeah. That was like sand, and then a house came out from the side. I didn't get to see the full house, but it just kind of like the door part was in the picture there. But that's really
pretty cool.
Yeah.
And Shane helped you with all this. Your friend
Not
Shane
with that one. Shane helps me with my my hanging and my pirate scene.
Wow.
Yeah. The other one, I think I was doing. Yeah, I think I was doing a meditation when I got the other one.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty incredible.
It was
very interesting to hear if you have more after this, or you have more to these stories too.
Yeah. There's several of them. I meditated one time and I had an out-of-body experience. That was so cool. I made it up into space, and I was so far away from Earth, I had no view of it. All I had was stars around me, and I was just laying there, spinning and watching the stars.
Wow.
It was so relaxing.
I bet. Wow.
Yeah. So I had that one.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
It's been fun.
Let's get to this. Let's get to the story here. The one in the car.
Okay. This one here I call my Jesus Take the Wheel off of the song, because it was just like that. So I am driving to work, and I get to an intersection, and on the opposite side of the road is a gas station. I'm in the lane to go straight, and I haven't stopped at a stoplight. While I'm sitting there, I'm just kind of doing my thing, and I hear, "Get gas." I'm like, no, I don't need gas. I have a half tank. I'm fine. I'll get it after work if I need. Nope. Get gas. I'm like, no, I don't need gas. I will get gas later. And again, I hear, "Get gas." And I'm like, no, I am not getting gas right now. Right. It is like 10, 20 below zero. It was flipping cold out that morning. I am not getting gas. Well, that wasn't the right answer. Next thing I know, my steering wheel is turning and my car is moving into the turning lane. And I go, okay, we're getting gas. We're getting gas. So I go over and I get gas, and I'm pumping, and the gas is coming out because it's so cold out that it was like clunk, clunk. Yeah. It was taking forever, and I'm looking at my watch. I'm like, oh, I'm going to be late for work. Blah, blah, blah. But it just took forever to get gas. So I finally got my gas. And I head over to work, and I get just about to work. There, I see my building, but between me and the building, there is a little creek. And then there's a road. Well, when I got there, there was ambulance, firemen, the whole works, cops, the whole works. And I see the stretcher coming out, but I don't know. I don't remember seeing anything covered or anything like that. But all I know is there was a stretcher there. So they directed all the traffic to turn on this road, and I ended up being 10 minutes late from just across the creek. And good thing it was there, because then everybody knew why I was late.
Right.
But had I went straight and went with my own feelings, not listening to intuition, I probably would have been involved with that incident.
One way or the other, yeah.
One way or the other. And I am so thankful they took my wheel. I'm so thankful that I went and got gas. I'm so thankful, because I probably would not have been able to handle what was to happen.
Right. And, you hear so many people talking about guardian angels, if they're real or not. And I mean, that's a story right there that they're real. I mean,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah,
very real.
Yeah. I've had a couple instances where, I can't find my keys or something's keeping me from leaving. And I'm like, okay. But there's never been a big accident or something like that. I've seen a cop pull somebody over. I think, oh, maybe if I would have left on time, that he could have pulled me over or something like that. So,
yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty incredible. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah. It's pretty wild. I mean, I never felt anything like that before, but it was just like my steering wheel's moving and my car is moving, and I'm not wanting to do this.
Yeah.
It's like,
and
okay.
And you were stopped at a light, correct?
I was stopped at a light. I was stopped. Yeah.
So there was nothing that wind couldn't have blown you over.
No. There was no other cars on the road. Well, yeah. So it could have been another car pushing me over, Yeah. I was pretty much the only one on the road. And yeah, it's just my car started moving.
Wow.
They're like, no, you're getting gas, Dana.
I bet you always listen now, don't you?
I sure try to listen now. And that's how I got my podcast going, really. I was standing in my living room, and I don't know what was going on, but I'm just standing there, and I heard podcast in my head. And because of that, things like that, and hearing you need to listen to those, it was like, I have no clue about podcasting. I have faintest idea about it. And so I go, okay, well, I'm going to check into this stuff. So a month later, I had my first show out.
Wow.
And I'm still, practicing and getting used to it and everything. But I'm getting there.
So somebody wanted you to spread the word about this stuff, get people to talk about it. So very good. Yeah. I'm glad you listened to them. That's awesome.
It's been a blast. I'm so excited about doing all of this, and and I thank you for bringing me on here, because
sure,
this will be my first interview with somebody else.
Awesome. Well, I've enjoyed the stories. I mean, they're great. I mean, awesome. I mean, you have some very interesting experiences.
Yeah, and I've got more. So if you want me back, I'll
now, do you share your own stories on your show too, or?
Yeah, I have shared some of my stories on there. So go ahead and take a peek at that and listen to them. And I've had my brother on there too, and he's got a really good story about when my mom passed last February.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you told me this a little bit.
Yeah. He was there with my mom when she passed. She was on life support. And so when they took that off, he was holding her hand, and something made him, and he's kind of a skeptic. He's more of a skeptic. And he was holding her hand, and something made him look up in the corner of the room. And when he did, he saw a bunch of sparkly cloud. And then he saw my mom in there, and she had turned around and told him, "It's okay. It's all good."
Wow.
And then I guess she was gone.
Wow.
So.
Well, gone from this plane.
Yes.
Yeah. That's good. I like that story. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm really glad that he was able to experience that, because I think that he needed that.
Yeah. And who knows, with you, working on being a medium, maybe your mom will come through.
Oh, I know she's come through. I know she's come through.
And she might have been the one that took your steering wheel.
No, she was still alive then.
Oh, okay. Well.
Yeah, that's been a few years back, and she just passed. It'll be a year next month.
Yeah.
So, no, I know she's been here. I've woke up in the mornings and went into the bathroom without my glasses on, and there she was in the mirror. Wow. She was in the mirror, and it was her.
Yeah.
It was her.
Coming for a visit.
Yeah. It's like,
that's
hi,
awesome.
Mom, how are you?
Well, that's cool. That's cool. Well, Dana, thank you very much for joining us today. It's been great talking with you. Your stories are fantastic. The show is called Light Talk with Dana. Mm-hmm. I'll have the link in the show notes, and you see it on the bottom of the screen here. So go on over there, check it out, like it, and subscribe it. Make sure that she gets the subscribers too. So
yeah, looking for guests. So if anybody has any stories, let me know.
Yeah,
love to hear your stories.
There you go. All right, we'll be right back, guys.
And that's Dana Nojen. Again, her show is called Light Talk with Dana, and here's her YouTube link on the bottom of the screen here. So please make sure that you head over there and subscribe to her channel as well. Thank you again, Dana, for joining us today. And thank you for tuning in and watching the show today. Again, here's my email address on the bottom of the screen. If you have any stories to share, or if you would like to be a guest on the show, drop me an email and I will get in touch with you. Hope you all stay safe out there, and I will see you on the next episode of Paranormal Among Us.